Welcome to Chasing Excellence, the informative, educational, and entertaining podcast series featuring positive and inspiring stories of entrepreneurs. Now, here's your host, Kathy Hogan.
Hello, friends, and welcome. You fashionistas out there, this show is for you because I have the amazing Chanovia Udoudoh with Admire Her, and she is a wardrobe consultant extraordinaire. Chanovia, welcome, my friend.
Thank you for having me, Kathy. I am so happy to be here. And like you said, yes, I have a company called Admire Her, online clothing store and wardrobe company, where I specialize in a lot of style services that complement women and help them to navigate through their professional wardrobe, as well as I specialize in professional presence workshops that cater to corporate companies and nonprofit entities.
Oh, that's interesting. We'll get into that a little bit more, but I want you to give us a little background on how you got into this line of work.
Absolutely. So I went to the Art Institute of Atlanta, where I received a degree in fashion and retail management. And during my time there, I actually had some experiences of a lifetime. I got a chance to do styling for Macy's. I was a dresser for David's Bridal. I did the grand opening of Nike Town off in Lenox Mall, just to name a few. And so that's what brought me the love of styling.
All right. Well, you embody that style. I'll tell you right now, not only is she smart, but she's gorgeous, and she's always so put together. Whenever I meet with her, I feel insignificant because she's so gorgeous.
Oh, stop.
Yes,
I feel the same about you, girl.
Oh, we're having a love fest here. It started earlier, but anyway. Okay, well, we're going to get started on some questions here so you can get more in depth into what you do and people can learn how that you can help them. You know, everybody wants to look good, especially in a professional environment. But I think you do all around professional, casual. I've seen some of her designs and they're gorgeous. She's done
Thank you.
You brought some to a networking group,
Yes.
and everybody was just hoarding them, and everything was perfect. And I wanted to buy everything on the rack. So, but not only does she have the clothes, but she tells you how to wear them, and helps you to refine your look and your style, correct?
Yes, correct. That is correct. One of the things that I do specialize in is helping women to dress for their body types. And it's so important because a lot of women do not know how to do that because we experience a lot of life changes, whether that's having a baby, some of us lose weight, we gain weight, menopause, you name it. So a lot of the times finding those wardrobes that complement our personal style is very difficult. And so that's where I come in to help bridge that gap.
And as we grow up, our style changes a lot. You know, what you were wearing in high school was cute. Then your middle age, whatever, you get older, and you automatically start changing. One of my big gripes, though, is for people to tell ladies over 50-ish, who shall not be named, that they shouldn't dress so young. And I think that's wrong. You know, there's a difference between dressing younger and looking like, really, you shouldn't be wearing certain things. But having said that, everything's open. So as long as you look good, I think you can pull off a lot of things that you may think you can't.
Right.
Correct?
And yes, 100%. And looking good, like I said, it starts with knowing your body type and how to choose silhouettes that complement you, giving you that ultimate polished look, especially for the professional environments.
Right. Okay, well, let's jump into a couple questions here I have for you.
Okay.
What inspired you to start your online boutique and focusing on stylish business attire for women? And what other services do you provide to complement your boutique?
Okay, well, what really inspired me is that I wanted to empower women to feel and look their best through style. But it didn't always start off as an online clothing store. So Admire Her actually used to be called Prime Fashion Consulting. And it started with me freelancing and testing out my skills at my corporate job. And so I built up my clientele, and that led me to creating a course called Dress for Success, which was a part of their executive program. And so that program was a hit. And so I was like, okay, I got my clientele now. I think it's time for me to make a bigger impact. So I decided to leave the company. Shortly after I left the company, the pandemic hit.
Oh, great.
Right. And so at this point, I'm freaking out because during that time, I'm a fiance. I've already left my job. I'm on my savings. So the worst thing I wanted to do was look like a failure. And then also having to rely on my fiance, which I know that's weird because I'm getting ready to marry this man, but I'm very independent and I just didn't want it to look like I met a guy, quit my job and, trying to mooch off of him. And so I'm just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? But one of the things during the pandemic, I did notice that people were still shopping. Mm-hmm. Right. I might have not had my clients because they weren't going into work anymore, but everybody was shopping. And so I was like, okay, well, maybe I'll have an online clothing store, but I won't focus on professional clothes. Okay. I'm going to do everyday wear and lounge wear because during the pandemic, everybody was still shopping, buying clothes, trying to create some type of normalcy.
Right.
And so that's where Admire Her was born.
Thank you. Sorry, I got choked there a little bit. Okay, can you share some of the most common wardrobe challenges professional women face?
Absolutely. So I would say some of the common wardrobe challenges that we all face. You already know, first of all, I can go on a rant. I feel like when it comes to women's clothes, it's not the same as men. They have everything tailored down from the waist to the length. And when it comes to our styling, we have like a 26 or like a size 10 and things of that nature, but they're not the same across the board. Sure. They all fit different in different brands. And so it makes it a little bit complicated to build a successful wardrobe. But when it comes to a professional wardrobe, a lot of my clients are, the challenges they face is creating a professional wardrobe that complements their personal style. And a lot of times people don't know how to do that because the companies do not express what their standards are. And then, like I said, women, we change our minds all the time. How we truly feel sometimes does not reflect how we look or how we want to dress. So it gets a little bit confusing, but it can be done and it can be balanced, When it comes to building a professional wardrobe, you want to start at the base. You still want to stay within the company standards, right? Mm-hmm. But you can get creative with colors, cuts, fabrics, and accessories. Mm-hmm. And that's how you would tailor that wardrobe to your personal style.
And that's where you come in.
And then that's where I come in
put the package together, don't you? See, everybody needs you, I think. How do you tailor your professional presence workshops for organizations such as nonprofits versus corporate clients to ensure each group has benefits from the experience that you provide?
Great question, because each organization is very unique in its own way. Mm-hmm. And so for me, I love to sit down and kind of figure out their goals and some of the challenges that they are facing with their employees, and I try to implement that. But when it comes to nonprofits, I personally love to work with nonprofits that create or have like a career development portion of the nonprofit for the women that they bring into the orgs, because a lot of the time they do the training for them, right, but these women do not know how to change their style for that particular career. Right. And if they do, it doesn't feel right to them because they're either holding on to a past that they have or they just have styles that they love. And so I come in and I focus with the nonprofits on the practical things, like, body language and how to navigate not having a negative body language so that you could be perceived in the right way. Again, we go back to the different company dress codes. A lot of people don't know there's so many different dress codes, but there's I would say about 5 that companies actually use. So there's business casual, business professional, you have casual, you have smart casual, just to name a few of the dress codes, and they all are different. And people don't understand that. And especially when you think about casual, a lot of companies are doing that on Fridays. They're like, it's casual, we can wear jeans. Yes, you can wear jeans, but your jeans should not have holes in them. Right? They should not have stains because you ate a chili dog yesterday. And there's certain type of washes that are presentable. Like I feel like in every wardrobe, a woman should have a light and dark wash that can be used in multiple ways, creating that versatile wardrobe for them.
And you can even upstyle jeans to where it's a more professional look.
Oh, absolutely. Right? So now you have the jeans on casual day where you may be just pairing it with a nice t-shirt, but the next day that you might want to wear those jeans and it's business casual, you can pair those with a nice belt, a dress shirt, and a blazer, and a pair of pumps. And if pumps are not your thing, you can always do flats and still give off that professional look.
Right. Well, that's good to know. Are you seeing, since COVID and everybody was locked down I guess that's the terminology. People tend to have gone more on the casual side. Do you see that? Or once the people are coming back into the office arena, are they going back to more professional look? Has it gotten to that point yet? Gotten back to that point, I should say.
I think that it depends on the industry. When it comes to the tech industry, a lot of the times if you're going into the office, it's a little bit of a casual setting. But if you're getting ready to people face and have those client meetings, it's time to suit up. And so they will transition from that company T-shirt and jeans, but when they get ready to present and pitch, they're wearing the suits. So it ebbs and flows, but it just depends. But I think also the problem is a lot of people don't understand these dress codes because companies do not do a good job of letting you know. Right. It's kind of one of those things where they're like, okay, you work in a professional setting. And so it's kind of like everybody's like, you know what that looks like, but there's so many different dress codes. And so that's where there's a disconnect.
Okay. All right. Well, in your opinion, what role does personal style play in building confidence and presence in the workplace? And how can women find a balance expressing their individuality while maintaining their professionalism? That sometimes is a chore for a lot of women. They don't know how to make that transition.
No, they don't. But honestly, yeah, I agree. They don't know how to do that. But what people don't understand is style is a powerful tool that is underrated.
Oh, absolutely.
It definitely is. I mean, your style says a lot about you without you having to speak. And that is a big statement.
It speaks when you walk in before you open your mouth.
Before you even open your mouth.
Presentation is everything.
Presentation is everything. And then when you think about being in a professional setting, it influences your credibility, your trust, Absolutely. And your client relations. Mm-hmm. So if you don't dress the part, it can literally impact your career.
Right.
And I hate to sound like that because a lot of people are big on, well, it's what you know. Yes. But if you are not reflecting what the company or the brand wants you to reflect, then they're not going to have you in those positions. And it doesn't matter how smart you are. You will forever stay in the background.
That's true. And I see that. I see a lot of that in networking groups. And yes. it to me, it stands out like a sore thumb when people come in. To me, a networking group, and I'm just going to diverse here, a networking group is a professional get together.
Yes.
And I see so many people coming in like they're on vacation and you don't have to dress, expensive clothing or whatever, but like you said, don't come in with holes in your jeans. And I see that a lot too. And I think this is a professional environment. You need to dress like that. It doesn't cost a lot to look good. Right?
Yes, 100%. And like you said, to add on to what you were saying, when you go to a networking event, that is your time to bring your best version of yourself. Absolutely. Because you are networking. Mm-hmm. And if you are not presentable, you are going to miss your mark. And it does not matter if you are the richest person or the prettiest person in the room. If you are not dressed to part, you will miss all of those moments. So it's best to show up the best version of yourself. And it's very important. But again, a lot of people do not know what that looks like, and it's not talked about. They just not getting the opportunities, and then they're playing the blame game like, oh, maybe it wasn't meant. No, it was meant for you. You just showed up wrong. And
you know what? I have a term for that. It's for the networking. It's netiquette.
Netiquette.
There's a way.
Yeah.
I'll tell you more about that later. There is another story to that. But when you come in, you are in a professional environment, like I said, and the decorum of that environment is present yourself in a professional way.
Yes.
If you're a roofing guy, come in and at least have your logoed shirt on and nice jeans and whatever. That's fine. Nobody expects you to come in a suit, right?
Right.
You're reflecting your business and you look professional.
Right.
Just don't be lazy.
Exactly. Don't be lazy. And it goes beyond networking events. Think about it. If you were to go, even with a doctor, their uniform is their coats.
Right.
If a doctor came in, say, okay, we were coming in, getting a checkup, a woman's checkup, especially like a pap smear, right? Yeah. And then the doctor comes in with a dirty coat. You're not touching me, okay? So this etiquette can go a long way, right? So like you said, it's not always about putting on professional attire, but whatever attire you have on in that professional setting, there is a way that you can maintain a polished look. And I think that should be the number one standard.
Yeah, absolutely. And you're right. I've seen that too. But You're not touching me.
Right. No, I'm good on that.
Yeah, I don't like dirty.
No.
Okay. What advice would you give to a woman to build a versatile and timeless professional wardrobe? And what key pieces do you believe every woman should have?
Ooh, that's a good one. Because a lot of times women feel like they don't have a lot of clothes in their closets, and they do.
And they're packed.
Right.
Like mine. I go in every day and I have nothing to wear. And you can't even see the wall because of all the clothes there.
Yeah. And as a matter of fact, you do. It's just sometimes we don't have the eye to create those multiple looks. So I do offer a service where I do come to your home and I'll help you to create a new wardrobe with all the items you already have. But to create a versatile wardrobe, I think it starts with key pieces. You want to start with quality pieces. And when I say quality, when people think quality, think, oh, I got to spend a lot of money. No, you need to follow brands that are known for good quality pieces, meaning that you're not going to get one or two wears. You can wear them all the time and it's not going to lose its shape or color. So start with those type of pieces, the quality pieces. You want to go with your staple pieces. So you have your blazers, you have trousers, you have a good denim pair of pants, you have a nice dress shirt, you have sweaters, those core pieces. And you want to stay away from like the busy patterns.
Yeah.
Right. But you can get pretty diverse when it comes to colors because you can mix and match a lot of colors together. So that's the starting point of creating a good versatile wardrobe. I know we love our statement pieces, but those pieces are only really good for like special occasions. And so you may have this really pretty dress, but you probably only wear it maybe twice a year because it's so pretty. Or you might have a jacket that's the same and you don't have any other pieces to wear with that. So if you're gonna do the whole statement pieces, I would say stick with accessories that are your statement pieces because those can be also matched with other items as well. Yeah,
that's probably the simplest route, right?
Right.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because I was going to transition you into your admire her and what that service does and how you interact with your customers, your clients. What is the actual service? You go to them, they come to you online. I know it's a little bit of everything.
Yes.
So tell us what we can call you and say, this is what I want you to do.
So thank you for asking because I do have a lot going on with Admire Her. We have the online clothing store and then, we have the wardrobe consulting services as well and the workshops. So with the wardrobe consulting services, we offer personal shopping. So that will be for a client that doesn't particularly have time to shop or, need some help with picking out certain pieces, wanting to build a brand new wardrobe. And so we come in and we take an assessment together to try to figure out what your style is. We go over budget. We talk about the stores that you like and are you interested in me introducing you to other brands and things of that nature. And then I go and I pull clothes for you and I bring them to your home where you can try on them in the comfort of your home. Mm-hmm. And the bonus of that is any exchanges or returns, I take care of that for you. Mm-hmm. So the process is very seamless. Mm-hmm. Yes. And so then another thing that I do offer is called the Closet Curator.
Okay.
And that is by far one of my favorite services that I offer because it's for women like us that have a lot of clothes and feel like we don't have anything. And I come over to your house and I literally go into your closet and I just start mixing and matching and creating outfits, right? And I use a rolling rack, so you'll see them all line up. And if there's missing pieces, like you might need a shoe or accessories or whatever to go along with that, I create a list and a lookbook for you, and you can purchase those with one click under my system. Yeah, and as a bonus, if there's any items in your home that no longer serve a purpose, right? And I'm talking about clothes. Any clothes in your closet that no longer serve a purpose, whether they're, worn out, too big, too small, whatever, you're not going to use them. I actually take them to a nonprofit of your choice.
Awesome.
And if you don't have one, I have been donating them to Treasures in Duluth.
Right. Okay. That's awesome. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I have this vision of you coming into my closet like a cyclone and the clothes are flying out the door and you're shaking your head going, oh, this girl needs some help. Is that kind of like it, or are you a little more subtle?
No, it's so funny because a lot of people, I think when they book the session, it starts off more like girl time, right? It's like one big happy fashion show,
Wine,
but yeah,
appetizers.
and some wine and things of that nature. We're having real life conversations. Like they can range from anything. But a lot of the times when I'm styling people with their own clothes, they're looking at me like, "Are you serious?" Like I would never have thought to put that on, you know.
And then they put it on,
and they love it,
right.
And so that brings me so much joy because the whole entire time they're sitting on this good inventory, but don't know how to use it.
You get so used to seeing it that you can't step outside the original, and you know, you've got tons of stuff, and that's what you do. Well, you come in and say, "Hey, well, look at this. This would go," and we don't see that because we're so used to. I know I'm blind. I go in, I try to get what I'm going to wear the next day, the night before, and I have an idea. And then I go, oh, I put it on. I'm like, I'm not sure I like that. But I know if you came in, you would say, oh, no, let's go this direction. And
right.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, you have like field day, seriously.
But it also does take a client that is open-minded for that service. Like
sure.
I couldn't imagine one that wouldn't be, because it wouldn't be fun, you know. Yeah. So it'd be nice to just, you know, have a client that is open to, you know, repurposing the items that they already have. And like I said, it brings me so much joy because the style looks different, right?
Yeah.
It looks different. It looks more elevated, right? Without me taking away from their personal style because it's their items, right? So I'm not trying to change their style and make them look like something that they're not.
Right. They have to be comfortable in it.
Yes. Yeah. 100%.
Do you ever have any people that push back and really don't, you know, this is not me, even though it really is them, they just don't know it?
So I haven't had anybody with the closet curator, but when I do the personal shopping, I'll have a client tell me that they want to look a certain type of way. Mm-hmm. And then when I pull the items, they realize that it's truly not who they are.
Right. And then do you suggest another look for them?
And so what I do, yes, I accept it because at the end of the day, I'm there to serve them and I want them to be happy with the results. So we'll go back to the drawing board and I'll actually have a heart-to-heart conversation. If I feel like we should stay within their style and I just need to add a little bit more pieces or key pieces, I will let them know that. Mm-hmm. Because not every client has to build an entire wardrobe, right? So yeah, I'm honest with them and then I'll just guide them into the right place. Like, hey, I think this look would look great on you. I'll send them some lookbooks where they can see a visual of what I'm talking about. They can accept or not accept certain products that I pull before I even bring them to their home. So the process is very involved with the client. And I love that because I don't really ice them out of the process. It kind of can't, right?
Yeah. The ones that are shopping online, do the items they pick get shipped directly to them, or is that part of your, I mean, that's another aspect of how you do this, right? And then if they don't like, sort of like a subscription box, I know that's not what you are, but those send out, you particularly pick the items for them, but do they go through and go, this one I didn't really care for, but I like X, Y, and Z. Okay. And then they ship it back, or you pick it up, or how do we do that?
So if you're doing like a virtual styling service with me, you have access to this. I have a program that you can download an app, and basically on there, I will start sourcing items from online stores, and it will go into your closet. That's what it's called. Okay. It'll go into your closet, and you can go into there and let me know if you like it or not. You can leave comments and things of that nature.
Yeah. So that helps you fine tune everything,
right? Yeah, and once we can agree on a certain amount of items, then I go in and choose like accessories, and then I start creating the looks for you. Okay. And then once everything is done, you have lookbooks. So when I say a lookbook, it's like a square diagram, and you have everything from your blouse to your trousers, your shoes, your accessories, and it shows how it can all come together.
It does?
And then
online. Okay.
And online, and it can be from different stores.
Okay.
So it won't just be from like my store. Sometimes I don't source everything from my store. It may not be anything from my store that can work for my client, and I'm all about just sourcing what can work for them. So a lot of the times I will shop from other places, and with that service, and with the app that I have, you can just click and everything with one transaction and all the items will get shipped. Now, if you do virtual, you are responsible for returning your own items.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's only because I didn't have access to your card information and it's coming to your house and things of that nature.
Right. Okay. All right. That's awesome. It's an option that a lot of people don't know about, and they could really benefit from it because, us as professional women run out of time on a daily basis. I stay so busy. This week, example, I've been in so many meetings all over town, and I was like grabbing things out of the closet. If I'd thought a little bit more about it, I would have been a little more succinct about what I picked and everything. But most people don't know about this kind of service. So we need to get your info out there and have people call you and set up appointments with you because it's awesome. And I can vouch for the designs that she has because everything she's brought in, everybody's just oohs and ahs about it. I want to touch a little bit more, go a little bit more in depth on the corporate, is it like seminars that you do?
Yeah, it's a seminar. It's called Professional Presence.
Mm-hmm.
And so what we do is we go into these corporate companies. So like I mentioned before, the course was born out of the company that I was working for. They started an executive program. And if you want to be an executive, one of the courses was to learn how to dress for success and to impress in every professional occasion. Mm-hmm. I worked for a technology consulting firm. So a lot of the times they would go off campus and they would be networking and going to dinners and things of that nature. But all of those occasions require different dress codes.
Sure.
And so we kind of went over that. But now with my professional presence workshops, it's customizable and it's tailored to whatever the needs are for that organization. So if I was working for a bank, a lot of the times we start off with, okay, well, let's talk about body aura, right? Like if someone is coming into the bank, how do you greet them? Are you going to be standing down? Are your shoulders going to be shrugged? Are you not going to have a smile on your face? Are you going to be breathing hard? And so we talk about how your body language can negatively impact the business, right? And so we talk about different ways that you can manage that so that you can be perceived as a welcoming and friendly face.
Yeah, first impressions.
First impressions are very important. But then shortly after that, we just talk about like, okay, what are some pieces that can work in this type of environment? Okay, I don't have to wear a suit to this organization, but jeans is a thing. What kind of tops actually go well with this? Okay, I have an apple shaped body. What kind of silhouettes flow with my shape, right? Mm-hmm. And people don't understand that either. People don't understand like what their body shape is. Do you know there's 5 different types of body types for women?
Yes.
Yeah,
I do. I know what mine is.
Right.
It's a hard fit.
Yeah, and there's so many different shapes, but people have to understand that like all silhouettes are not going to flow on all body types. And we see it even when people get married. Now they're doing the whole thing with their bridesmaids. Everybody has a different dress. Right. And it's not just because everybody has different personalities. It's literally because that mermaid may not work on certain body types, right?
Right.
And so we just embrace it. So knowing the body types. So there's 5 body types that every woman should be aware of and try to figure out what their body type is. Because once you figure that out, there is garments that is going to flow properly on your body, giving you that polished look that's going to help you to show up confident. Mm-hmm. So we have the apple shape. That means you have a big bust and you have big hips and thighs a lot of the times. So that's one shape. We have the pear shape. You're slender up top, but then you have more hips and thighs as well. We have the inverted triangle, and that's when you have broad shoulders and a tiny bottom. Next, we have the hourglass, and we know that's when your bust and your bottom half is proportional. And last but not least, we have the rectangle shape, and that's when you're straight down. Yeah. And so there's so many different ways that you can style that shape.
And depending on your shape, there's ways, correct me if I'm wrong, to dress someone that maybe is a little self-conscious. They're a little heavier in the middle, a little heavier in the backside, whatever. Mm-hmm. And you can suggest items that would alleviate a little bit of that concern, maybe hide things that we want to hide. Right?
Absolutely. Okay. Yes. So, for example, if you have an apple shape, the goal is to elongate the body.
Okay.
And so you want to do a lot of V-neck tees and high-waisted pants that can make the body appear longer.
There you go.
If you have a rectangle body, you want to try to add definition. So you'll do your peplum tops and your A-line skirts to kind of give you a little bit of a shape.
Okay.
So that's just to name a few.
Yeah, sure. Well, that's helpful because a lot of people don't know that. Then they're dressing for the wrong body shape and they're wondering why they don't look good.
Absolutely.
And it's they just don't know.
They
so
just
it's an
do not
education.
know. It's an educational thing as well, and that's what I love about it. Because after coming to me at least 2 or 3 times, it's gonna click, and you'll be able to do all the styling for yourself. And I love that.
Right. Something just popped into my head, and it did because I deal with this in my business, the corporate gift business. Dealing with cultural norms. Do you have any pushback from, I could name some things that I have to do with in the gifting industry that you really have to watch because certain cultures that's not acceptable or certain colors are not acceptable. Do you come upon that at all? And if you do, how would you handle that?
So I have never I have not come across that yet. I guess maybe because I'm doing like the professional styling and a lot of my clients are in those professional settings. So if I'm dealing with someone that wears a hijab, I probably would just style around the headpiece and things of that nature.
Okay.
And I would probably pick out more modest clothing for her. So it's just kind of knowing a little bit of the background and the do's and the don'ts. But when it comes to a professional setting, just knowing the different type of dress codes and then going based off of that.
That's what I meant. Yeah, because there are certain things, and the hijab you mentioned, so that would definitely be one. But you can work with that.
Oh, I can work with that.
Okay,
I can definitely work with that. I love to mix different cultures, and it's definitely a science to it. It allows me to be creative.
Right. Plus you learn.
Yes.
Right?
Yes, I learned all about the different cultures, the different silhouettes and things of that nature. So it's a nice experience.
Well, Chanovia, I appreciate your time today. It was very informative and educational, and you're always a treat. So would you mind giving us your contact information? I'm going to have you give it, and then the listeners can find it in our show notes also.
Absolutely. So thank you. Okay, everybody. So you can find me, once again, my name is Chanovia Udoudoh, owner and founder of Admire Her Wardrobe Consulting and Online Clothing Store. And you guys can contact me on my website at www.admire-her.com. And on that website, you can make appointments, and you can also shop from my clothing store, as well as follow me on LinkedIn at Admire Her. Okay. And on Instagram at Admire Her Store.
All right. Great job. Well, it's been a pleasure, as always.
Thank you.
And I'm so glad you made the time for us today.
Yes.
So we're going to wrap it up right now. And this is Chasing Excellence with your host, Kathy Hogan. And as always, stay fearless, friends. See ya.